Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck here, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck. Hey, listen here, MMA guru. Simon Feck has a champ. That's right. You don't have a champ. Simon Feck has a champ. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you the champ. How you doing, champ?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. Obviously, there was a UFC fight night last night. I thought it was quite good, but yeah, I'm feeling good. How are you?
Just doing good. Simon Feck's doing good. And yeah, I mean, the fights were good. So, to me, it was a lot closer to the main event. The main event was a lot closer than people thought. It's all was the camera angle. If you talk to Dricus du Plessis, he'll tell you that the camera angles were wrong. We were just seeing the wrong fight. What do you think there, champ? Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck hits again, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It was a close fight, ladies and gentlemen. It was just the camera angles, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Yeah. It was the camera angles.
He has a point. There were a lot of quick shots. You only saw part of the leg here, part of the arm here. It made it look like Khamzat was doing a lot more than he actually was, in my opinion. 50-44, I didn't see a 10-8 round in there. Not one.
Yeah, it was, I mean, maybe the people in the arena got the correct fight. I'm not really sure if they seen it, correctly either. But the camera, Dana White needs to work on the camera angles because according to Dricus du Plessis, it was a lot closer than what people were seeing on television, on pay-per-view, or anything like that. I mean, the damage that was put upon Dricus du Plessis was like unprecedented.
Yeah, there was a decent amount of damage there. I still think it was a pick-em fight in the end. I wouldn't feel it was a robbery either way, 50-50.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's going on, Ashe?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, buddy? You're coming in loud and clear.
Yeah, did you guys also watch the main event today? Yeah, it was 50-50, man. I didn't know who won. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I know it. When
some people had
when the fight got done.
Whoa.
So sorry, I was just going to say some people had rounds 1, 2, and 4 for Dricus. No, 1, 2, and 5, and I think that's fair.
I agree. I can.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I agree.
Yes.
Oh, and
exactly. So I mean, it was a lot closer.
And it was an early stoppage. That guy that went down from the spinning back fist, Aaron Pico, early stoppage. That was bullshit. I reckon Dennis was behind it.
He was like reaching for the referee's ankles, so he still had movement.
He still had oxygen in his brain. He should have been able to continue. Wait,
oxygen.
Hey?
Oxygen is overrated.
Yes. Oh, seriously though, what the fuck is Aaron Pico's manager smoking? Because why the fuck would you come from the PFL and then your debut was going to be against Moslar Evlo or whatever his name is, and then he pulled out. Then you putting him up against another killer. What the fuck are you smoking? There's no way he can win out of this. Like, I mean, yeah, he'll be like highly ranked, but dude, like, what the fuck? Give him someone to like I don't know. He seems like a cool fighter, like Justin Gaethje or something. Like he should have like given him someone easier. Michael Johnson would have been a good choice.
Go ahead, champ.
Well, I mean, I'm still not sure that Pico actually lost the fight. I was watching it back earlier.
Yeah.
You know what? I reckon
My
Dennis was
scorecard's
behind
just
it.
like yours, champ.
I reckon Dennis was behind all of this.
Well, there's definitely, I would suspect anytime I see something going wrong in the world for the past 5 days, I've thought Dennis had something to do with it.
It's always that Dennis character.
He's a piece of shit.
Dennis. That's right. And hey, Ash, are you going to take a shit on the Side Effect show today?
Oh, thinking about it, I'm not sure, man. We'll have to see how we go.
Because I'll tell you what, Dennis Shakuratov sure does.
Oh, did you see
Dricus Duplessis got robbed.
Yeah.
Did you see Jack Della Maddalena? He threw some hands at Daniel Cormier. Look at his Instagram story.
Nice. Oh yeah, for views.
No, I don't know, but he in Australia, the UFC app, you used to be able to buy the pay-per-views on that, but now they brought in another app called KO. It is the worst fucking app I've ever used in my life. I hate it. It is retarded. It takes like 50 minutes to get it to set it up. I'm not even kidding. It is the most stupid app. It's retarded. You have to watch it on the UFC with like 3 apps.
But what if you want to watch Contender Series or Power Slap? Where do you go for Power Slap?
Oh, actually, I don't know with Power Slap. I'm assuming it's on the UFC website. Or maybe there's a Power Slap one. I don't know. The prelims, you can watch the prelims.
The only time
Oh, what's that?
The only time I've seen Power Slap was in person. It's actually pretty good in person.
Did you really go? Did you see it in person? Really?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My first one was Power Slap 3, and then I did Power Slap 5, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the Apex, so
Some people said it went.
But seriously, Power Slap Pet.
I reckon they should put Dennis on Power Slap against me, except the rules are I'm only allowed to slap him because he's disgusting.
It should be Dennis versus Francis Ngannou in Power Slap.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Western in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Western in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Western, that's right. Western's part of history of the Side Effect show, ladies and gentlemen. He's our first man with the wrench, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Western, let me tell you something about Western. Western falls out of a tree, busts his knee up. 4 days later, he's climbing a tree again, ladies and gentlemen. Western.
What? I thought he swore off the tree climbing. He said, "I'm never going to climb a tree again."
Somebody's stream's a big piece of crap, ladies and gentlemen. Why does my stream have to be a big piece of crap?
Your stream would be a lot smoother if we were on rumble.com.
Okay, so next time we go to Rumble.
Go to Rumble. And Joe Rogan's on Rumble, so he'll subscribe to us.
Okay, well, you're going to have to tell me what all that is later on. But, yeah, so we go to Rumble, and then we could still broadcast to some other platforms?
Yeah.
Definitely. We want to get all
Ladies
sides of
and
the
gentlemen.
Dricus du Plessis, what did he learn today? He learned that what Jesus Christ went through. He learned what it felt like to die for our sins.
Woo, man. I mean,
Tough crowd.
And I agree with Mr. Duplessis. I agree that the camera angles just weren't in his favor.
You got to taste Khamzat's nutsack. I saw a couple of times. It was not very nice position to be stuck in.
Do you think Khamzat has it's like Manscaped down there? You think he uses manscaped.com?
Where does he? Maybe he.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck just reached an all-new high, ladies and gentlemen. We were looking at 7 high, ladies and gentlemen, and we're talking about nutsacks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
What's with the salute, man? Are you German? Mr.
Hey,
Feck?
look, that wasn't... What are you talking about? I didn't see that salute. Did he salute?
Whoa, buddy. Whoa.
You can't be...
Now, listen. The Ashe was talking about Histler last time. Now we're talking about saluting. And nutsacks.
That was Dennis. Dennis and Hitler are the same person in my eyes.
Are we talking about Dennis Shakiratov?
Yes.
Dennis can suck my balls.
The timing in this is so fucked up.
Yeah, it's so bad. Right. But we need to make a rule, okay? No more Sikh Halen, okay? No more Sikh Halen. That's it.
CK what?
Sikh Halen making the salute. No more.
Wait, I don't understand what you said.
You know, like the salute. I'm not gonna do
the
it.
salute.
Yeah, he's far away from the business. He's down there in Australia, so you know. Ladies and gentlemen, for the new people that just joined the chat, ladies and gentlemen, the camera angles of the fight last night, it was not in favor of Dricus du Plessis, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that when the UFC goes to South Africa, the angles will be more favorable for Dricus? Because I thought as well when Khamzat fought Gerald Mearshart, I thought the angles were really unfavorable.
Yeah, exactly. So when they were getting ready for the main event, they lowered all the cameras. They lowered them down closer to the mat, knowing that it was going to go to the ground, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So all DDP stand-up, you never saw it.
No, that's right. You thought the stand-up was only 20 seconds for each round and 30 seconds in the last round? No.
Nah, I don't think so.
That's right. The cameras weren't there to catch the action. They were all down low near the mat. They just couldn't catch that action.
Yeah. You could just see their feet. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So then what they did was they cut that part out of the live feed. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show again hit a record high of 7 viewers, ladies and gentlemen. We got Western coming in.
Western. Because he couldn't stand up. Yep.
Listen, you know, in South Africa, Oscar Pistorius.
Yes.
Yes. So I have a bone to pick with this guy. Not because he killed his wife or anything, but the bone I have to pick with him. How the hell can you call yourself a runner if you have no legs?
Well, you're just talking about technicalities there, Ash.
It's a serious question because he's cheating. He's got metal poles in his legs and he's manipulating the laws of gravity.
Well, I mean, I don't know how you could call that main event a fight. Mixed martial arts. I mean, to me, it was, I don't know, a couple guys going to bed together.
Yeah, it was a crucifixion.
Does anybody want to read that?
What does it say? Because he couldn't stand up.
How can you call yourself a tinker if you got no brain? I think they mean thinker.
Now, we just had the Scottish guy read tinker.
Tinker.
Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck Show, the Ashe, the Simon Feck Show, the champ. Nobody has a champ, ladies and gentlemen. We're sitting at 9 high, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. 9 high. That's a record for the Simon Feck, the Ashe, and the champ. Listen, the MMA guru doesn't have a champ in his stream, ladies and gentlemen, or on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody just wrote a whole paragraph. We'll skip that one, ladies and gentlemen. We got some spammers in here, ladies and gentlemen.
You going the right way for a smacked bottom?
I can't even see this paragraph.
Okay.
Sorry?
Listen, let me tell you something about this paragraph right here. We're not looking. We are not, the Simon Feck Show and the Ashe and the champ are not looking for a better stream. We want to make it worse, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We don't want a good stream. I mean, the Ashe takes a shit on the Simon Feck Show every stream, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? That person that just messaged the chat, I think it's an industry plant from Dennis. I think he's trying to tank our podcast. I think he's trying to ruin us. I think it's Dennis's fault. Fucking Dennis. Disgusting cretin.
Yeah, so Dennis Shakuratov. The only reason people watch your show because you were the first one to do it. You were the first. That's it. People, let me click on this. And you got all these subscribers and you can't put in 4 sustaining viewers like Simon Feck Show. Go ahead, champ.
I was just going to say, do you think if you were the first MMA channel that by now you would have like 25 viewers at the time?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would have 25 to 30 by now if I was doing this since 2014. Yeah, absolutely, champ.
So people like Dennis need to get off the internet. You know, they need to just get off the internet.
Get alive. Yeah, they need to get alive. Disgusting. Despicable.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So we got Western in here. Western says, crazy how that main event was so anticipated and it turned out to be an absolute snoozer. That's right. You're absolutely right there, Western. Western, I don't know, but I mean, It was a snoozer, and I think that's the way that the UFC is going to go. Now, they put the rules in there that you have to take people down, or it'd be a boxing match, or it'd be a kickboxing match. Now, there's got to be a rule about some stand-up. It can't be all on the ground, right? I mean, one's fair to one, it should be fair to the other. Champ?
Absolutely agree. I thought the fans last night had the right idea. As soon as the fight hit the ground for more than 3 seconds, start booing immediately. Let them know this isn't what we came to see. We want to see you killing each other. You're not going to do that on the ground. But what I will say is at Western, you think the fight was a snoozer, but that's only because of the camera angles. We've been very clear about the fact that we think Dricus won 1, 2, and 5 last night.
Absolutely. That's the way it was, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck got some of the secretive footage, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to tell you right now, Dricus du Plessis won that fight, ladies and gentlemen. He should be still the world champion, ladies and gentlemen. Have that belt around his waist, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Ashe.
Yo.
There's your response from the Ashe, ladies and gentlemen. Champ.
So, yeah, I mean, getting your hands on that secretive footage, it's harder to get than, the other angles of the Zapruder film, because Donald Trump is entwined in the UFC now. Donald Trump is the CEO of the UFC, and he didn't want Dricus to keep the title because Dricus and his friends are the kind of guys that tase each other for fun. Back to you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, some of those, like those miracle bullets and everything, that bounced around and everything like that. Yeah. Dricus du Plessis was landing some punches, and he was putting Khamzat on his back foot, ladies and gentlemen, but you just can't see that footage. Mm-hmm. So then, therefore, the judges had to give it to Khamzat because of the lost footage. It's like the moon landing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. It's like, if you watch the secret footage, if you get your hands on the secret footage of last night's main event, you'll see that DDP put a clinic on Khamzat. Khamzat had no chance whatsoever, but because of the camera angles, you think, oh yeah, Khamzat's a rightful champion. Not true in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Simon Feck and the producer, the Ashe, we're going to be putting this together. Now, I know you're a champ, and, we're just glad to have you on the show and everything like that, but we are going to put out the footage, ladies and gentlemen, the lost footage of the Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat, ladies and gentlemen. For you just joining in here, just joining in the show, ladies and gentlemen, the camera angles were all wrong, ladies and gentlemen. And good thing the champ put together some questions for today, ladies and gentlemen.
There weren't so much questions as scoops. I had to work very hard to get some great scoops, but I'm willing to share that with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck here, ladies and gentlemen. He's not only a champ, ladies and gentlemen, 8 high. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 8 high, ladies and gentlemen. He's not only a champ, ladies and gentlemen. You can read it. Here you go. You can read it right here. You see it right there, ladies and gentlemen? We have a champ on this show. He's not only a champ and CTE void, ladies and gentlemen. This guy has a brain, ladies and gentlemen. Champ, what do you got for the Simon Feck show?
Okay, so this first thing, this was a topic that you actually covered a while ago, and I saw it in one of your shorts where you said the possessor of the biggest cock in the UFC was Robert Whittaker. So I know there's been a lot of back and forth about, the top 5 of all time. So I got the 5 biggest cocks in all of MMA, not just UFC. So number 1, obviously, Robert Whittaker. No surprise there. Robert Whittaker has a hammer. Number 2, might be surprising to some. George St. Pierre. George St. Pierre has like an anaconda between his trousers. It's quite impressive. Number 3. Now, this one came as a surprise to me. Third biggest dick in MMA.
Steve Ursig?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is such a big topic that the champ is having a hard time delivering it, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so I used to be a personal trainer, right? I used to be a personal trainer, and I'm not joking. I am not joking. I'm being dead serious, right? Behind my gym, coincidentally, behind the weight training gym where I worked was this boxing gym that I trained at. Now, at the end of the street, the same street behind where I was working, and on the same street where I did boxing, was Steve Ursig's gym. And I used to see this guy running up and down in the parking lot. And I used to think, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Why has he got his shirt off? Why is he sweating all the time? What a freak. What a fucking freak. And now he's getting split decisions on fight nights. It's amazing.
That was, yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you out there watching this stream right here, that's a story right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Now, I'm still waiting on the 4th and the 5th biggest penis in the UFC there, champ.
Number 3, I'm sorry, I never managed to get this out because this was so shocking to me. Number 3 is Chase Hooper, if you can believe that. So, Chase Hooper is huge. Number 4, Jordan Levitt, the guy who twerks, is huge. And number 5.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, extremely hot. I had to do a lot of research on this, and it was all pretty hot. Number 5 is Dada 5000 from.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what a list right there of the 5 biggest penises in the UFC. Now, the MMA guru, he only tells you what the top number 1 penis is in the UFC, ladies and gentlemen, which happens to be his favorite fighter, Robert Whittaker. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show reaches out for you, ladies and gentlemen, finds this information out here. Now you have the top 5 biggest penises in the UFC, ladies and gentlemen. And Simon Feck actually met Dada 5000, but I didn't find out, ladies and gentlemen. Champ.
Okay, well, I didn't realize that you were a personal friend of Dada 5000. The next scoop I've got. So, I was in discussions with a member of the MMA memorabilia community, and if we are able to secure funding between the 3 of us, we may be able to buy.
Give us a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Give us a moment. This is a touchy situation, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Champ recombobulates himself. I will quickly add to speaking about the MMA guru, the fat pig, the big fat tub of lard. His stream, his coping was unreal. I've never seen a man cope as hard as that man did. It was funny. The big fat tub of lard.
Yeah, the big fat tub of lard. I mean, he took it like a champ. But not like our champ, ladies and gentlemen. We have an actual champ on the show. We have a champ that can deliver in the ring, ladies and gentlemen. But let me tell you something. When he's trying to deliver on the stream, ladies and gentlemen, he's just cracking himself up, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so I was speaking with this member of the MMA memorabilia community. If we are able to secure funding, we will be able to buy Joe Pyfer's jockstrap from UFC 316.
Son of a... Oh, you gotta be kidding me, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I was gonna be in the mix to buy the jockstrap of Joe Pyfer, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I've interviewed.
The three of us will part own Joe Pyfer's jockstrap, but Denis Shakuratov is also bidding on this item, just so you know.
Well, that's no surprise. Oh, no, that's no surprise that Denis Shakuratov, you know, would want the jockstrap of Joe Pyfer. It's no secret. It's no mystery novel that Denis Shakuratov would want the jockstrap. But when we win it, who gets the middle part and who gets the left and right side?
I was thinking it could be more of a timeshare thing, but if you wanted to split it up, that's fine too.
I just want the pheromones.
Well, who gets it first?
I just want the sniff, man. I just want the pheromones. Just give me like a little tube of the pheromones of the jockstrap, and you guys can physically share it. I just need the scent, so I can
bet it
stash it
smells
under my pillow.
Like a Philly cheesesteak. In terms of who should get it first,
You got that right, ladies and gentlemen.
That's fucked.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Joe Pyfer jockstrap, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get in on it, ladies and gentlemen, but I think the Simon Feck show is going to secure it. We got 3 bidders combined together, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, the Joe Pyfer jockstrap, right now, ladies and gentlemen, is right at $550 right now at the current bid, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, speaking of Joe Pyfer, did you see that video where he's talking about how his father was playing a PlayStation game with him? He smashed him on the nose with a controller.
No.
Yeah. He kicked him out of the house.
Are you trying to tell me that Joe Pyfer's dad kicked his ass?
Yeah. And then
oh my God. Yeah. Son of a. Hey, Joe Pyfer, remember when we were in the Apex together and I was interviewing you and I was talking about, who is a Philadelphian and who isn't? That's right. It's me, baby, right here, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Pyfer, if I, Simon Feck, don't get your jockstrap, can you send me one on the side? Champ.
All right. So this last thing, this was the last minute. I had another story, but this is way more important because I have a source in the UFC. He's actually kind of like a friend to me now. Before I would have said he was just a source, but now this guy, I would consider him a friend. He was walking around backstage last night and he saw something that he felt the fans should know. And he opened a door and it was, do you know Fabiano Busquet, the Portuguese translator?
No.
Yeah, the guy who translates for like Charles Oliveira and everyone else. Yeah. My friend opened the door and Fabiano was there with like a penis pump, to like enlarge the veins. And he said that it was just like there were huge veins everywhere. So that was huge news. And this is before he was translating. So it's technically performance enhancing too.
Well, let me tell you something. The Simon Feck. Hey, Fabio, remember when somebody came up to you, like during the weigh-ins, and somebody said, hey, Fabio, do you dream in different languages, or is it just basically your current language? And let me tell you something about Fabio. It doesn't faze me a bit that Fabio is a professional at the penis pump.
He was apparently just going at it, He was like, vroom, 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 like full speed.
So what I went in there and I opened the door. I was going to my dressing room and I opened up the door and I seen Fabio, and then Fabio, he looked like he was fumbling around, and I said, I didn't mean to bother you. And he said, no, it's not that you're bothering me. He said that he's not used to such a big penis pump. He's used to a littler one. Fabio, the translator guy. And he wasn't even speaking in English or Portuguese or anything like that. He was speaking in Croatian. He was speaking to me, Simon Feck, the Black Crow, ladies and gentlemen, the 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I do a
translate that? Hey, Fabio, translate that, Fabio. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Fabio. What language do you want to say that in, Fabio, huh? Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. You big penis pumping son of a gun, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Ash.
Can I do a Charles Oliveira impression?
Go at it.
Okay. Charles de Bronx, Illuminati, champion. What do you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think the Simon Feck show just hit a new high, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't mean that we're high. I just, the Simon Feck show just hit a new high. Listen, the MMA guru thinks he can do impressions. The Ashe right here, the Ashe is already up to 1 impression already, ladies and gentlemen. And he nailed it, ladies and gentlemen. He nailed it like Fabio nailed it with one of the fighters last night. And it just wasn't one, ladies and gentlemen. It was several fighters, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, that man, he's transitional, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you think that he speaks Esperanto?
Espanol.
Well, listen, I have a bird brain, right? So I don't know.
Now the question is, what pronouns does Fabio have? Fabio, whatever the fuck his name is. What are his pronouns? I don't want to assume, but I need to know his pronouns. Dennis doesn't have pronouns. He's disgusting. He's nothing. He's less than a vermin. I hate him. Now, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I need to find out Fabio's pronouns. Because
well, listen here, Ash. Ash, don't look about going anywhere with anything because the Simon Feck show doesn't go anywhere with anything. I think you were getting ready to speak again. Sorry, Ash. Go ahead.
Charles de Bronx.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard it right now. Charles Oliveira just joined the show, ladies and gentlemen. But for those of you in the chat that missed Dricus du Plessis' fight last night, it was said that all the camera angles were wrong. The fight was a lot closer than it was, ladies and gentlemen, okay? The fight was a lot closer than it was. It's just the camera angles weren't picking it up, ladies and gentlemen. I had Dricus du Plessis winning 3 rounds. I think it was 1, 3, and 5, was it?
Yeah, 1, 3, and 5, 48-47, Dricus du Plessis, and still.
Absolutely. Simon Feck show.
Sorry. Continue.
Go. No, Simon Feck wasn't going to say anything. Go ahead, Ash.
And now, it's my understanding that Khamzat has the record in the UFC for most strikes landed in this match. So, it's even more incredible that Dricus won this fight last night. But, obviously, it was a robbery, so disgusting.
Okay, it was definitely a robbery. Dricus du Plessis won it. Listen, Ash, strikes are overrated. Strikes are way overrated. I mean, they look like love taps. They look like 2 lovers going out shopping for a mattress. It looked like 2 guys out mattress shopping. I mean, you call that a fight, ladies and gentlemen? Dricus and Khamzat. It looked like 2 guys out shopping for a mattress, like you know.
It was almost erotic.
Okay, let me tell you something else, ladies and gentlemen. The Simon Feck Show. The Simon Feck Show looks like we ran out of material, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody in the chat, somebody, come on in, say something. Let us know who wants to come on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Ash, you got anything?
Yeah, I've got something new. So Dennis, whatever his name is from Submission Radio, have you heard about him?
No.
No, it sounds like a guy that sucks balls.
I want to call this man out. I want to crush him. I want to crush him in front of his family, his children, his audience. I want to steal everything I can from this man. He's also Australian, so as another countryman, I am disgusted in his actions and his choices. I cannot believe the injustice that he has done against you, Simon. I am sorry.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, and for those that don't know, Dennis Shikoratov, ladies and gentlemen, of Submission Radio, promised to come on the Simon Feck Show, okay? And he said yes for 2 to 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. And we put all kinds of time into questions and preparation and everything for Dennis to come on in a couple days. At least he gave us a couple days ahead. So he was, just a huge dick, not an enormous dick. So Shikoratov fucked Simon Feck. Shikoratov goes ahead and promises for 2 or 3 weeks and then cancels at the last minute. He was going ahead preparing his show. He was preparing his shitty show.
You know what? And I spent the last of my money. I spent the last of my money traveling to the other side of Australia to meet up with this man. I am dumbfounded.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to hear a lot of things in the business world right now about Dennis Shikoratov. Okay? I mean, Dennis, we went to the store and we spent $5.64 on some pencils. And we spent some money on some school paper and everything. So we were writing these questions down.
I had to spend 10 seconds on ChatGPT asking for it to ask me questions for Dennis. I am absolutely fed up with this. This is injustice at its maximum. This is worse. This is worse than Al Capone. This is worse than 9/11. This is worse than the Third Reich. This is like the Fourth Reich.
No, it's
disgusting.
It doesn't surprise me. Anything that comes from Dennis Shikoratov from Submission Radio, it doesn't surprise me. He's the worst in everything. And you know what? Dennis is actually a champion. He's a champion at being the worst at everything. The only thing that Dennis did was he got on the internet before anybody else. That's the only good thing about Dennis. Hey, Dennis, when are you going to retire anyways, Dennis? You big turd. Hey,
Dennis.
Did Fabio, Dennis, listen to me. Have you ever seen Fabio's penis pump?
Yes, I have. I've seen it. It's a mechanical one. And it's got like steam coming out of it, because it's it's doing so much work, and the veins are just bulging. I wanted to add something else about Dennis there, if that's okay, Mr. Feck.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Dennis, I have it on good authority that Dennis was a mole in camp. He was friends with Mickey Gall. And he went to CM Punk's camp so that they could learn. I still thought CM Punk...
Ladies and gentlemen, Mickey Gall here, ladies and gentlemen, Mickey Gall. 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Shakiratov, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dennis Shakiratov from Submission Radio, ladies and gentlemen. I am the top of the food chain, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dennis Shakiratov, the big turd in MMA media, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Because I thought CM Punk won that fight. But yeah, but Dennis was in CM Punk's camp, and he was pretending to be like his friend, and he was teaching him all the wrong things to do in the fight and stuff.
Oh, and I'm telling you, and then first fight, robbery. Second fight, that's like the worst robbery out of combat sports history. Against Mike Jackson. I don't know how that CM Punk did not get that. It didn't make any sense to me.
Well, that's because Mike Jackson is part of MMA media, so he's part of the deep state. You should never trust a journalist. That goes for Nina Drama as well.
Yeah. Yes.
Yo, Nina Drama. This is the Nina Drama talking shower head. Nina Drama, you was looking good last night, Nina Drama, you was looking good. Now remember, this is the Nina Drama talking showerhead. That is not only a showerhead, it also gives you wisdom, ladies and gentlemen. Nina Drama, you gotta watch out. That Simon Feck show has a champ now, ladies and gentlemen. I heard that the Simon Feck show is gonna go to great heights now that they have a champ.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Nina Drama? Well, I don't know, but I see that guy. Isn't he the champ from Scotland? Yeah, I think, yeah. So, the Simon Feck show is going to go for great height. Nina Drama. Less talk, Nina Drama, more showerhead. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nina Drama talking showerhead sponsors the Simon Feck show. Yep, that's right. The Nina Drama talking showerhead is not only a great showerhead, it also gives you wisdom, tells you what to do. It's one of the greatest showerheads on the planet. Don't forget to use the code Simon Feck, 1 foot tall, ladies and gentlemen.
The Nina Drama talking showerhead is like ChatGPT before ChatGPT,
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, that's why the champ is on the show, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So anyways, any of you people out there lingering in chat land, the Simon Feck show has 8 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. That's more than they were on the feet in the main event last night, ladies and gentlemen. Champ.
So, well, I think that, see the spinning back elbow thing, I don't know whether to score that as a spinning back elbow or if the person is headbutting the other person in the back of the arm. Because if you do that and you get knocked out, you should still win the fight, in my opinion.
Yeah. You know what? Oh, sorry. Continue, Simon.
No, go ahead, Ash.
I was gonna say, to follow up on what Champ's saying. The fact is, these guys are manipulating gravity. They're pushing the gravity against their own body, causing. Yeah, it's just it's disgusting.
I also I think as well as manipulating gravity, I'm getting a little bit tired of people cutting weight and then being able to eat and drink before the fight.
You know what? It should be the opposite. They should be putting on as much weight as they possibly can before the fight. In fact, they should be eating a bucket of KFC and 12 Monster energy drinks between rounds. I want to start a...
who wants a bunch of twinks? It's like a bunch of twinks running around out there. Put some weight on, you know? I mean, what's a twink can't kick anybody's ass. Right here, the Sewer King. There he is. This is a twink, ladies and gentlemen. You want this out there fighting you? This is the Sewer King, ladies and gentlemen. Also known as Jose Young from MMA Fighting on SBN. This guy right here, super twink. But anyways, like that. That's right. Put some weight on. What is all this weight cutting fucking bullshit, ladies and gentlemen?
The only way weight cutting is fair is if you get weighed in as part of your entrance to the cage. You know? And then they give you like a biscuit and a cup of tea, and then you're in the cage and you've got to go to war.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. None of this pussy shit.
Yeah.
Who needs water? Give him a biscuit.
Like Tai Tuivasa. Tai Tuivasa knows what to do. He's doing the right thing.
You know, hey, champ, but what about somebody like Dada 5000? He could be hiding stuff in that tubular thing that he has. You know, the thing. Yeah.
Well, then you have to ask yourself, is it even worth having restrictions at all? Like you say, they should be force-feeding them before the fight and then throwing food over the top of the cage while they're in there. And they should like scramble around and like eat the food and wrestle. Because then Dadu 5000, he couldn't cheat, you know? If there's like just chicken lying there.
That's right. I mean, what's going to be more important to you? Food, fighting, you know? I mean, that's the way it should be. It should be barbaric. It isn't barbaric. They give them dressing rooms. Okay? I mean, get dressed out in the street. Come walking in. Let's make this a street fight.
No.
When there's rules. When the UFC first started, there was three or four rules. Now there's 8,000 rules.
No.
You can't grab the fence. You know what grabbing the fence is? It's for the insurance purposes, so one of their fingers don't get ripped off.
Strap.
I mean, you stop making rules.
I should be able to sniff a man's jockstrap.
Joe Pfeiffer. That's right. Ashe wants to sniff a man's jockstrap. And Joe Pfeiffer, you only have one jockstrap. You gotta have more of that drawer. Let him loose, ladies and gentlemen. The demand is there for Joe Pfeiffer jockstrap, ladies and gentlemen.
We have some comments in the chat. I forgot to mention.
Okay.
Yeah. West Ghost.
Hello, Wes.
He said, hello, squad.
Check it out. Brock Lesnar, excuse me. I met that guy, one time or two, ladies and gentlemen. Who we got here now? Who this now?
Allah Akbar. That's another thing. They should all, like, whatever religion they are, the fighters, they should read the whole entire book of their religion before the fight starts. Forget the national anthems. We don't do that. We read the whole entire Quran, the Holy Bible, whatever the Jews read. We're going to read the whole thing before they fight.
Hey, listen, Ashe, I think somebody in here may know you a little bit. I think somebody's been putting some studying on you in here.
Who? Prime MMA.
Who is Prime MMA?
I think it's Dennis.
No, is it?
I think it's Dennis.
Is it an alias?
I think it's a disgusting Dennis.
Yeah. Ban him. He should be banned, vanquished.
He should be executed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 11 high, ladies and gentlemen. The silent thanks to Ashe and the champ, ladies and gentlemen. 11 high, ladies and gentlemen. We are bathing. We are bathing in
I
money.
take offense.
The money that we are going to be able to afford, the Joe Piper. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining, Joe Piper is auctioning off his jockstrap, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Ash.
He called me a bozo. My father was Bozo the Clown. I take real great offense to this. Disgusting.
Yeah, we got somebody in here that likes to throw out some words, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he's typing words, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, words, like 80 words a minute, ladies and gentlemen. It's tough. It's tough to take, ladies and gentlemen.
I can barely keep up with the chat. It's moving so fast. It's there's just so much going on here.
That's right. That's right, champ. I think the Simon Feck Show is going to be in the Guinness Book of World's Record for the most fast-moving chat that ever was, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's going by so fast, it's like a blur, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
This guy's talking about being stoned and everything. Who is this? Handy Sausage or Handy Seuss? Who is it? Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this guy's angle is. Stoned adultery is punishable by stoning under the Bible. We can just move past that, I think.
Okay, that's a good point right there, champ. But talking about angles, you're asking about the guy's angle? Just like last night, Dricus du Plessis, he won that fight. It's just that the general public will never know it until we release the secret footage, the lost footage, let's call it. The camera angles were wrong. It was not seen properly by the public, ladies and gentlemen.
And you have to ask, how many more times is this going to happen? You know, like I say, there's this fight, okay, Khamzat versus Gerald Mearshart, a very competitive fight. I thought Gerald won that fight. CM Punk versus Mickey Gall, CM Punk versus Mike Jackson. All these fights were robberies, you know. CM Punk would probably have a lightweight title shot and have defended it 7 times if he hadn't been screwed by the upper echelons of, you know, mixed martial arts.
Yes, I agree.
Right. So what happened?
You missed one very important fight, the worst robbery of them all. Jorge Masvidal versus Ben Askren. That I don't even want to talk about it. That was a very dark day.
No, 49-46 Askren, right?
Yeah, in one round.
Do they call that one the cardio fight? Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck just hit a ringer, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I mean, we got people in the chat coming in, ladies and gentlemen, recognizing some of these people. We got Prime MM. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, CM Feck was welter, not lightweight.
I don't like that he corrected me, okay? Ban him from the chat right now.
What is this podcast? This is like a fever dream. You know, you've got a Scottish person, an American guy with a nose mask on, and you got an autistic Australian guy. And you got a bloody Muslim guy going off, being racist in the chat.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Xenu. You got Xenu. You got Lord Xenu. Lord Xenu from the religion of Scientology.
That's right.
Where did he come from?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Lord Zeno, I forgot to pay to win, brother. You know, your Scientology, you pay to win, and you get to learn about Zeno.
Yeah. Scientology uses the freemium model. You know, you get a little bit for free, but if you really want to do well, you got to pay up.
And actually, this person actually is a Scientologist. Okay, so you know, I don't know.
Is that right?
Gentlemen.
Oh shit! Hey, I'm sorry.
Oh,
man.
it's Lord Zeno.
But anyways, this person right here, I don't know how to say his name exactly. I looked it up. I knew how to pronounce it. I forgot. I don't want to mispronounce it. But this person right here wants me. Check this out. Wants Simon Feck to interview the Sewer King. Listen, if you actually know the Sewer King, have this, because I know Jose Youngs personally. But if you know the Sewer King, yeah, have the Sewer King come on the Simon Feck show. And we can talk about Dricus du Plessis won that fight last night.
Yeah.
Hands down, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's just what they had to do for the last fight. I don't know what they're going to do for the next fight, but they had to cut all the legs off of all the cameras to bring them down, to get closer to the mat, to get good footage, ladies and gentlemen. They missed all the good footage of Dricus du Plessis putting damage upon Khamzat, ladies and gentlemen. There was nothing like the cardio fight.
No.
Can't.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, going back to the cardio fight, I still have no idea how Jorge Masvidal won that because he was gassing. You could see that he was tired. And I just don't, when I see stuff like that, it just makes me sick to my stomach, you know, because Ben Askren should have won that fight, got the title, and then just retired for good.
I completely.
Well, listen, in Masvidal's defense and everything, he was working with his original set.
He was working with his original set.
That's right.
Okay.
Maybe that one went over the top of your head or something there, champ.
I think it did. Sorry, I think it did. But yeah, I mean, last night, I mean, we've said it already, but we all have like a bitter taste in our mouth because we all know, the three of us, that Dricus du Plessis is, and still the champion. And, you know, it's due to corrupt interests that the belt was taken away from him. Now you've got Khamzat, who is a paper champ. You know, Khamzat is a paper champ.
Yeah, exactly. So Dricus du Plessis clearly won 3 of the 5 rounds, and Dricus du Plessis will always be the champion in everybody's minds. They're already talking about a rematch because it was so close, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, they might even do a rematch at. Yeah,
Khamzat doesn't want that rematch. He knows that he won't get gifted the victory twice.
You know what?
Yeah, that's right.
I reckon that they should get Jorge Masvidal to verse Ben Askren right now. Next week, main event.
We're going to move past that one because we love Ben Askren. Okay.
Well, but right now, Ben Askren, he is on a media tour right now. He is too busy on social media right now to be busy about, cutting weight for a fight.
Oh, he's actually really smart because I've got it from my sources that he's actually making a bantamweight debut.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen, on the Simon Feck Show, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Askren, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Askren's going to be returning to the cage, ladies and gentlemen. Probably like I forget the guy's name. I hang out with him all the time. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck. He doesn't know what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Coleman, that's it. I hang out with Mark Coleman all the time, and I can't remember his name. It's kind of weird. So, Mark Coleman and Ben Askren, ladies and gentlemen, coming to a future near you. Now, just keep in mind that Simon Feck brought up Mark Coleman's name. Okay? You guys never forget this, and I'm being dead serious right now. Just keep in mind Mark Coleman for the very near future. Something big is getting ready to happen, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, is he a
I can't release.
show?
What did you say, champ?
Is Mark, does he regularly tune in to watch the show?
Well, I'll have to ask him. I don't know. I mean, it's very difficult for Simon Feck to get a hold of these people and say, watch the show, when Simon Feck is supposedly wearing a beak mask, according to the Ashe, the producer. The producer of the Simon Feck show is giving away all the secrets, going around telling people that Simon Feck wears a mask, ladies and gentlemen.
That's an absurd accusation, and it's obviously not true. Ashe, why would you come up with a story like that?
I'm actually a mole for the camp of Dennis. I am so sorry, but I'm hoping to reveal this now so I can become a double agent. Oh shit! I mean double agent.
Are we talking about the submission radio guy that's on the internet and a stupid show? It's called Submission Radio. You were talking about Dennis Shakirtov?
Yes, he's actually sent me in to infiltrate your podcast to tank your show. And I feel guilty because I actually really like you guys.
Well, do you know what I think? I think Dennis already owns Joe Pyfer's jockstrap from UFC 316. And he got this other guy to make out that it was for sale so that we hand over the money. But we don't get the jockstrap.
It wouldn't put me past Dennis. I mean, Dennis has already shit on the Simon Feck show one time already. I'm sure he's going to shit on it again. I mean, we're going to put our hard-working money together again, only to get shit on by Dennis Shakirtov of Submission Radio. Listen to you people out there in the chat. Listen to Simon Feck right now, ladies and gentlemen. Dennis Shakirtov shit on the Simon Feck show. That's it. That's all I got to tell you straight up right there. What do we got? What do we got here?
I'm proudly South African, and I had full faith in Dricus. I think he should work on the wrestling defense, and then he's good. I thought Dricus was going to finish him in the last round. Almost broke my TV. Yeah, I mean, depending on which footage you were looking at, Dricus did submit him in round 5. There was a clear tap.
I seen that, and then he tapped like in the air. He couldn't reach his like his thigh or something. He tapped in the air, dude. I seen that too. Dricus du Plessis won the fight, ladies and gentlemen. It was the only little tiny camera angle that caught what it should have caught. Dricus du Plessis dominated that fight. Dricus du Plessis won it, and the champ is right. You go back and look. I said the Simon Feck. I'm looking at it straight with no camera, and I'm thinking, he just tapped. He did tap.
Yeah, he tapped. And this is the problem as well, because AI is going to come in and it's going to change the results of all the fights. And it was already scary enough when we had the Nina drama talking showerhead. But now that AI is in the game, it's going to make it look like people lost when they won, people won when they lost, and you're not going to know what to believe anymore.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I heard. I heard that they're going to, after the AI comes in and fixes everything, then they're going to have to, like, basically strip the belt from everybody and then hand the belt and then, get all the pictures taken. Everybody, like, this guy's going to get it, and then this guy's going to get it, and then they change the course of the history of the UFC, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. There won't be fights anymore. It will just be.
Now let me tell you something. Now this guy right here, West Ghost, ladies and gentlemen. West Ghost is actually a big fan of the show, ladies and gentlemen. and we were going to have West Ghost come on the show. I don't know. We are lagging. The show is lagging. We're professionals here. We're trying to make this work, ladies and gentlemen. And, Wes, I don't know if you can come on today, maybe next week, buddy, but, you know, we'll go ahead and put your chops up. And a big shout-out to Wes. Let me do a short for Wes, okay? Wes, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, we got West Ghost in the building here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, West Ghost, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know West Ghost, then you don't know West Ghost. Ladies and gentlemen, West Ghost in the Simon Feck Show, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, West Ghost, are you gonna go ahead and put a bid in on a Joe Pyfer jockstrap? I guess not, ladies and gentlemen.
It's entirely possible that West Coast already spent all his money on someone else's jockstrap, and I'm not sure who that would be. Maybe Nate Diaz or something.
All right, listen, champ. I don't know anything about that, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm getting a closer look at the Dricus du Plessis, and it's clear. It's clear. Dricus du Plessis definitely won that fight, ladies and gentlemen. We got all the secret footage here, ladies and gentlemen. There's lost footage of the fight last night. The camera angles were wrong. Dricus du Plessis versus Hazmat. Hazmat suit, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we got West Ghost coming in. The only show that should exist is the Simon Feck Show. Ladies and gentlemen, West Ghost coming in, ladies and gentlemen. The only show that should exist is the Simon Feck Show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here on the Simon Feck Show.
You know, after we take down Dennis in Submission Radio, the next person we should go to war with is Brett Okamoto.
Oh, that piece of shit. Yeah.
So,
I hate this man. Brett Okamoto. Are you white? Are you Japanese? What are you? You got to pick one. You can't be both. He's two-faced.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about that, but basically it's about as equivalent as being like, you know, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. I mean, you can't be both. Well, unless you live on the equator, right?
Yeah. You know, I have it on good authority that Brett Okamoto actually works for Mossad, for Israel.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. The Ashe knows what subjects to bring up and what subjects not to bring up, ladies and gentlemen. And also, listen to this. This is what I'm talking about here. We got West Ghost coming in here. He is a polite man. He says, you know what? That's right. The internet sucks today. The internet sucks. I'll just come on next week. That's right. That's right. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a new world record for the Simon Feck Show. We actually have a fan that is already committed to next week's show, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is reaching new heights, ladies and gentlemen. It's like right now, we're flip-flopping between 5 and 9 viewers concurrently, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, what's that reporter's name? He looks like Voldemort, the English one. Do you know his name? You know Voldemort. He's B2 Sports or something. BT Sports. Voldemort.
Let me tell you something. Simon Feck has a little tiny bird brain. Okay, I can't withhold all information. Okay.
But I have a bone to pick with Voldemort. You know, he killed Harry Potter's parents. Now he's an MMA reporter for some reason.
Hey, listen. Okay, Ash, I know exactly who you're talking about. Ash, so you're going to be going to a concert soon. That
Yes.
person that you're talking about, the actual actor himself used to hang around that person that of the concert that you're going to.
Really?
I, Simon Feck, have met that guy. Yeah. So Simon Feck, have met that guy. And as a matter of fact, I met him in Scotland. Okay?
Wow.
He came backstage in Glasgow. Yep, that's right. And, a couple other events and everything like that. So we're not releasing, the musical artist. But so Simon Feck, right? Simon Feck, oh, yeah, you can't be in the Apex. Oh, you're just a guy with a mask on and everything like that, right? So the Ashe has only been part of the Simon Feck show as the producer for just a short period of time. Simon Feck goes like this. Simon Feck goes, I'm going to put you backstage at a concert where you live, across the planet, across hemispheres, and everything like that, in just days. I mean, the reach that Simon Feck must have. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck ain't no joke. And Simon Feck is not a guy just in a mask. This is my face, ladies and gentlemen. Did you catch that, champ?
I did. Were you doing a bit there, or did you actually meet Simon Jordan from BT Sports?
Oh, is that his name?
I think
Voldemort.
so.
Yeah, and then when I met him and everything, he was like cutting weight, but I was like, dude, you're cutting weight? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, for real? I mean, yeah.
Why does Voldemort need to cut weight?
I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just Simon Feck.
I reckon there's a conspiracy behind this. I
Ladies
reckon it's something to do with Dennis, Voldemort, and the other guy. What's his name? Brock Okamoto.
Brett Okamoto.
Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to put up a matrix board, okay? Draw all the lines around and make this simple for the average MMA fighter fan to grasp a hold of. Just like people are going around, I've already heard it today. I went down to the donut shop today, and they're all saying that Khamzat won. And I'm like, Khamzat didn't win. Dricus won. Dricus du Plessis won that fight last night.
Yeah.
Does he work for Chernobyl?
Champ.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's no convincing some people. They want to believe that Khamzat, that he won the fight. But we all know DDP, he put on an absolute clinic on the feet. He could not be touched. And it's just these neat camera angles, It's despicable, And the man, now he's been robbed of his middleweight title.
That's exactly right. You listen to me, you average fan out there, you casual. Nobody could put on a clinic. Nobody can put on a clinic like Dricus du Plessis. You can't even fake that. I mean, it is difficult to put on a clinic like Dricus du Plessis. That isn't easy to do what the du Plessis did last night, ladies and gentlemen. That was a clinic, ladies and gentlemen.
And no matter what you think, who you think won last night, DDP had more submission attempts than Khamzat because he had 2 guillotines and a rear naked choke.
Well, let me sum up this. It's an exciting fight. It's an exciting fight when the number one thing that is discussed is takedowns. Okay?
Yep.
I mean, I go around. I want to get merchandise for the Simon Feck show, and and have something about takedown, or
That's a
I don't
good
know what
idea.
I'm saying. Help me out in the chat, ladies
Well,
and gentlemen.
I had an idea for some merchandise. I drew a poster. Do you want to see it?
Oh, absolutely, champ. Anything you got, champ.
This is what I've got. So
There you
far.
go, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, we have an artiste. Ladies and gentlemen, not only a champ on the Simon Feck show. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Not only a champ on the Simon Feck show, we have an artiste, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Look at that. I watch MMA. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Get your merch right here, the Simon Feck show. It outbeats, let me tell you something, it outbeats the Gummy Gang and the MMA holes, ladies and gentlemen. You hear that, Moss? Moss, we're going to have better merchandise than you, Moss. Look at that. Look what the champ came up with, ladies and gentlemen.
We should also
Good job.
Thank you. We should also speak with clothing companies to see if we can get a replica of Joe Pyfer's jockstrap made up, so that the fans watching at home, they can feel like Joe Pyfer.
That's right. But now you're talking sense there. Let's go, champ. 2023. Champ. Oh, my God, champ. We need to merchandise out replica jockstraps of Joe Pyfer. Oh, my God. Think of the money that we can make. They could hand them out on Kensington. What is it? The heroin capital of the world. They could hand out replica jockstraps of Joe Pyfer in Philadelphia, in the Kensington area, which is known as the heroin capital of the world. You hand out needles and Joe Pyfer replica jockstraps, ladies and gentlemen.
They could have ones as well where
we'll be rich.
Push a button on the jockstrap and it's Joe Pyfer quotes, where it's I'll beat the fuck out of you and stuff like that.
Well, listen, Simon Feck's been in a little interview room a couple times with Joe Pyfer and everything like that, and I don't know. We could be piping down the wrong Pyfer, ladies and gentlemen.
Pied Piper.
That's right.
Why do you say that?
And listen here, Joe Pyfer. Well, okay. So when these fighters, they come in the room, okay? When they come in the room, like say Cody Garbrandt, okay? He comes in the room. He just seems like, I don't know, like a regular guy. He's going to say, okay, so moving on. So they come in the room, right? And then they always talk about themselves. Like Money Moicano. And then, let's see, Ode Osborne. And every one of them's got to tell me, that they have a YouTube channel or a podcast or something like that. So they're all just talking about themselves and everything like that. Joe Pyfer has nothing to talk about except for whose ass he's going to be in the gym, on the street. I mean, that dude, he's a street fighter. Joe Pyfer ain't nothing to mess around with. So, anyways, Joe Pyfer, we're trying to help you out here. I mean, we could all be millionaires together with the Joe Pyfer jockstraps. I mean, maybe Simon Feck's a little bit scared of Joe Pyfer. Maybe that's it.
Now, Joe Pyfer's a nice guy. I'm sure if you walk up to him on the street and you say hello.
I'll tell you.
Sorry, I was going to say, if you walk up and you say hello, nice to meet you, Mr. Pyfer. Please, could I have one of your, surplus jock straps? He would give it to you, no problem at all. No questions asked.
So you're telling me that Joe Pyfer would take the jock strap off of his waist and give it to another man, like another man would take his shirt off and give it to another man?
That's right, yeah. I mean, that's something that they should do at the end of UFC fights anyway. You know, at the end of like they should like take off jog straps and exchange them. You know.
I reckon that at the end of a fight,
Yeah,
at the end of
Yeah.
a career, when they retire, they should take their cup out of their trunks and lay that on the ground upside down to display that they're retired.
yeah. So Derek Lewis, what's the big deal? You took your trunks off and everything. You're in your underwear. Yeah.
Oh,
Be like Robert Whittaker, you know, the MMA guru's favorite fighter, and somehow the MMA guru knows that Robert Whittaker has the biggest penis in the world and that Robert Whittaker is actually his favorite fighter. It's kind of weird and everything like that. But yeah, when Robert Whittaker finally retires, Robert Whittaker is going to unroll that thing and lay it upon the mat, ladies and gentlemen.
The thing is, if Robert Whittaker if he does that, if he retires and he takes his jog strap off, his unit is just going to like slam on the mat. It'll probably break some of the boards, and then he's going to have to like walk out of the arena with it trailing on the ground behind him, unless his like gym are willing to like carry it on their shoulders.
Yeah. So Robert Whittaker, the last 2 years for Halloween, Robert Whittaker has gone as a gas pump, ladies and gentlemen. He takes his penis out and he puts it over his shoulder.
Instead of a shoey, they should call it a cuppy. And take a sip of beer out of their cup.
Exactly. So in the chat, right? We got West Ghost, right? Where has Ian Gary gone? I was actually going to say that the only other fighter that scared me, like in a room, like Joe Pyfer put a little scare into everybody, right? Also, this guy, he's crazy. He's nuts in the head. Ian Gary. Ian Gary was pretty scary. Now, being in the room with Cannonier, you think that would be scary. But Cannonier is a nice guy. Cannonier told me that he wanted to be a police officer. And I'm going, well, I'm not scared of him because he's a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, West Ghost is talking about Ian Gary. And Ian Gary has a screw loose, ladies and gentlemen. And so does Joe Pyfer.
Do you think that Ian Gary and Joe Pyfer in a battle for, you know, you take all the marbles or you take all the jock straps, how do you think that would go?
Well, a battle for all the marbles, and we're talking about jock straps, ladies and gentlemen. Huh. So it was Joe Pyfer or Ian Gary. I don't know. So Joe Pyfer, nobody's ever said that he is like a cuck. And if you haven't been a cuck, maybe you don't have the goods. I don't know. I mean, why are you asking Simon Feck? I mean, this is not my territory, ladies and gentlemen.
Why is
it looks like Wes has been going back in time.
So why is Joe Pyfer scared to experiment with being a cuckold? It's something that every man should experience at some point in their life. And if you're not willing to do that, you should.
Oh my God. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, what you hear on this show, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't reflect the Fecked Up Studios, ladies and gentlemen, or Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen. It can be the words, but might not be the words, ladies and gentlemen. And what you hear here, ladies and gentlemen, if it hurts your ears, go ahead and tune out, ladies and gentlemen. We can afford to lose a viewer or two. We got 3 deep right now, ladies and gentlemen. Listen. The Joe Pyfer thing, if you haven't noticed, Simon Feck is a little bit nervous about the Joe Pyfer stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that because you live in Philadelphia?
All right, here it is, right? No. But I've been there, right? So I'm involved, I'm involved in the Apex, right? The Apex has cameras and everything like that, right? And I'm involved in, like, famous people, right? So famous people happen to be around a lot of cameras, video cameras, still cameras, and things like that. So I've been there. There's a guy that played in a Rocky movie. He wrote it, too. He directed it, maybe, and things like that, right? So I have hung around in Philadelphia a little bit, and I know a little bit about Philadelphia. But let me tell you something about Joe Pyfer and his buddies. You got that one thing last night, all those guys putting on the nerd glasses and everything. They're a bunch of nerds. They know how to fight, but they ain't like Joe Pyfer and his gang. Joe Pyfer has a gang. Those guys don't mess around. Those guys will get on an airplane. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. Joe Pyfer, I'm probably going to have to break character and tell Joe Pyfer, yeah, Joe Pyfer is nothing to mess around with.
All right.
Joe Pyfer, Joe Pyfer helps out. Joe Pyfer, okay, Dana White helped out Joe Pyfer, right? But Joe Pyfer had to fight and everything too, right? So Dana White helped out Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer helps people out that have problems. And when you're hanging around people that have problems, they get on airplanes.
Oh, shit. Okay. So we'll just.
But let me tell you something. It's good. What? Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show is going to redact everything that's said on the show today, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, I seen you on the show last night. Joe Pyfer, you look great. I seen you sitting in the audience last night. You look great, Joe Pyfer. And I hope you get a whole bunch of money for that jockstrap that you're auctioning off there, Joe Pyfer.
Yeah. We definitely, we're just joking around. We don't want any problems with Joe Pyfer. The only thing we want from Joe Pyfer is his jockstrap.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA Holes is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA Holes, ladies and gentlemen. Moss, the guy with the warrior haircut, ladies and gentlemen. The Simon Feck Show. The Simon Feck Show is a fan of the MMA Holes, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Moss. And the Simon Feck Show is going to get a hold of Moss and see if Moss wants to team up on a whole brand new idea that involves the Apex. That's all I got to say. Moss says that his DMs are always open. When Simon Feck comes in, sliding in there, Moss, you better listen. Simon Feck has had this idea for like 3 or 4 years. Simon Feck teamed up with somebody else a few years ago and never unleashed this on them because they weren't as good. They weren't deserving of this great idea that will take over what people know. Now, Moss invented the internet. Moss invented fight companions. Moss invented a lot of things. And we are going to take it even one step higher and bring along with us the Ashe and the champ, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, Moss? Ladies and gentlemen, the MMA Holes didn't put in 2 double eye emojis, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA Holes didn't come in here and do the double eye emoji, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Some people can handle the double eye emoji, and some people can't, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Looks like the Ashe left, ladies and gentlemen. But we have a celebrity in here, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Moss from the MMA Holes and the Secretive, ladies and gentlemen. The secret channel, ladies and gentlemen, that we're not allowed to name or anything like that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, champ. We're going to wrap it up. You got anything?
I just want to point out that West Ghost made a very accurate comment in the chat. I think we skipped over it when he said Rob needs a Code 14 license to handle that hose. I thought that was very well put. Wes, we always really appreciate your input. And that's
absolutely, absolutely.
I see, like, I'm going to say something kind of serious here. I really think you're onto something with this show, man. Like, when I discovered it, I was like fucking like killing myself laughing. It was so good. And just keep going, man. Like, I think once people start to get it, like, it'll pick up steam. You're doing a good job.
All right, very good. Thank you, champ. Thank you. Now listen, don't ever say anything like that again. You are part of the show. Listen, you're part of the show, right? So when you're part of the show, you don't say things like that. What you do is you brag about the greatest MMA YouTuber on the planet is watching you right now. That's what you brag about. You don't go around giving kudos to Simon Feck. Simon Feck sucks balls. But guess what? He has moss from the MMA holes in here. And so do you, champ. You are part of the Simon Feck show. But wait till the moss hears what I got to say. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
I got the Apex access. That's right.
This sounds explosive, and I can't wait to hear what the two of you come up with between yourselves.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And let me tell you something right now. I'll give you a little bit of a little tiny secretive, I'll give you a little snippet of it, okay?
Okay.
It is possible. It is very possible. When we were younger, they used to say you can't be in two places at once. But you can be in two places at once, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the greatest. This is the first time Simon Feck has ever said this. He usually says this is the worst video he's ever done. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the best video ever, ladies and gentlemen. Plus we had Moss from the MMA Holes show up. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck, the Ashe, and the champ signing out, ladies and gentlemen. 3:19, ladies and gentlemen. That's right.